Hi, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to set up our dependencies and the prerequisites required for Laravel development. So the first thing is we need a dependency manager because Laravel is a package and we need to set it up as a project. It will also bring up a lot of packages, right? So we require a manager who is going to take care of those packages because it would not be easy for you guys to download the packages, place it in the right folder. So let the dependency manager do that work. Okay, so let's look what dependency we are going to do, what dependency we are going to use. So that is the composer. So composer, you can see fetch it from getcomposer.org. You can click on the download links based on your system, right? Based on your system, if it is a Windows system, you can install the Windows version of composer, composer.exe. If you are on a Linux based operating system, like I'm working on Ubuntu, so I use up the composer.far file. So these are the steps. You should have the PHP installed on your system. We are not going to discuss about how to install PHP in these videos, right? Because someone who is coming to learn Laravel, we expect that he is aware of PHP and basic database things, right? So we expect that you are aware of PHP and PHP would be installed on your system. So here you can follow these steps to download and install the composer. You can go to the documentation here. You can see how to install it. It's very simple. So next, now let's check if it is installed on my system or not. So I'll go to a specific directory where I would be keeping up all the code files. I'll be sharing up the code files in the form of the GitHub repository. So here, if I need to check whether the composer is installed on my system or not, I'll simply type the composer command, right? So you will see this composer logo with this composer command giving me a lot of options. So to create the project, there is a different command. We'll see it shortly. And apart from this, to write your code, to view the project, you need a code editor, text editor. Simple notepad will work, but it will not be efficient. So I'll prefer going for the Visual Studio Code. So you can download the VS Code and search for VS Code. It will take you to the code.visualstudio.com. You can download this, you can install it if you are on the Ubuntu version, .deb file or RPM file. If you are on Windows, take an executable file, install it, and you will get a very simple and efficient VS Code text editor. So now how to set up our project, right? That is the first thing, how to set up our project. So we'll be setting up the project using the composer. You can do side by side. You need an active internet connection because when we are setting up the Laravel project, composer will download the dependencies, right? Composer will download the dependencies from the web, from the repository. If you want to see the repository, I can show you that. So we'll search for Packagist here. So Packagist is a repository. You can see the PHP package repository. Let's search for Laravel, and here you can see it's showing the Laravel framework, Laravel, right? So the first part of this name is the vendor and the second one is the package name. So you'll find a lot of Laravel packages. We will learn about some of them, but not immediately right now. The first task for today is to set up our project, right? I'll reduce the zoom a bit, and to set up the project, I am going into my trainings folder in my home directory, and inside that I have created a Laravel folder where I'll keep all the code files. So now I'll use the composer, and inside the composer I'm going to write with the composer I'm going to use the command create project, right? So my option is to create a project. Composer create project. The dependency I want to use is Laravel. So here I'm saying composer create a project with Laravel package and give it a name. So let's give the name as blog, right? So we are giving a good name to it, blog. I'm pressing enter, and now you can see it's fetching up the version v9.3.6, right? v9.3.6, and it's firstly downloading the core Laravel project, right? And after that, it is checking all the dependencies, like what are the packages required to run the Laravel setup, right? So it is checking that, okay, all these versions of packages need to be downloaded. For example, if you see here, it is checking, okay, Laravel Sanctum is required, Laravel Tinker is required, and it is also taking care of the versions, right? Which version would be compatible with the Laravel 9.3.6, right? So here you can see it is downloading all these packages. 105 packages are required. If you had to do all this work manually, it would have taken up a lot of time and effort, right? And here Composer is doing a great job. So you can see now it has downloaded, and after that it is installing. I'm scrolling it down, and at the end you would be seeing some 64 packages. Suggestions were added by new dependencies. So these are like not to be installed right now. If you have some work with them, you can install it later. It would be publishing up some files, etc. And okay, the things are done. And at the end, you can see it is running certain commands. We will read about these commands when we get some more knowledge about Laravel, right? So now what would have happened actually in this Laravel folder? Let's see the directory. So here you can see it's creating up a blog folder. We'll go to this blog folder and we'll again check the directory. So now you see a lot of folders have been created, a lot of files have been created. What actually these files will do, right? So we need to understand the file structure also. Right now we have simply just created up a Laravel project, that's all. I'll clear my screen and we will open up the Visual Studio Code, right? So if the Visual Studio Code is installed, you can use code dot, and this will open up this particular project in the Visual Studio Code, right? So here you can see on the screen, blog project is created. It is having a lot of folder and a lot of files, right? Every file is important over here, and you should be aware of the purpose of this file, right? But we will see it in our next video. Right now we are simply going to just see whether my project has been created successfully or not. So for this, you can run a server, right? Yes, Laravel is going to use the PHP inbuilt development server, right? PHP comes with the development server, and Laravel has created a command to utilize that server. So I'm going to run a command php artisan serve, php artisan serve. So with this php artisan serve, you are going to run the server. So here you can see it's saying server running on this particular port number. Particular IP address and the port number, right? This IP address is your local IP address. So let's run this, and you can see, yes, it is showing me a successful installation. It is showing me the Laravel page, right? Nothing more than this in this video. This was just an installation video, how to install it. Very simple. I'll quickly repeat it once again. So let me stop the server. We'll clear it. Yes, so here you need to use Composer. Composer should be installed on your system. You can follow the documentation on the Composer website. So Composer, use the option create project, provide that what dependency we are using, Laravel, and then the project name. This last blog is the project name. If you are creating up a ecom application, you can write ecom test, anything, whatever web app name you want to write, you can write. Currently we will try to follow a multi-user blog in our project, right? So this is the first command, and after that, once your project is set up, right, you can run the command php artisan serve. No changes in the file, nothing. We have not done anything currently in the files, etc. We will learn about the files, etc. in our next session. Thank you.